Right, let's now cross to UBA to hear from Ramat Babah to give us a perspective on that market. The Naira clearly strengthening at some point this year, Ramat, but we've seen some weakness recently.
Hello, Wole.
Hello, Ramat, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Do faint.
Okay, I was just trying to get your thoughts on the recent weakness we've seen in the Naira and what's responsible for that.
The Naira market, that's the FX market, opened on the bullish trend this year. The interbank market opened at 156.10 levels, hitting a high of 157.65 on the 7th of January, but currently trading at 157.30. The devaluation of the Naira in this window is due to the high demand. However, this was supported by the inflows from the FDIs for the bond auction last week. Also, some oil companies came into the market and over $600 million was sold within the month. Most counterparties have been buying funds from the interbank market to fill their demand as against going to the CBN official window, as the interbank is cheaper than the CBN effective rate of 157.28.
Okay, interesting point you're making there, because I was just going to say that so far we've seen only $800 million sold at the CBN auction window. So I guess the point you just made about the pricing being more favorable in the interbank market may be a reason for that.
Yes, Wole.
Okay, so that's the main reason for that. Okay, let's move on to the interbank fixed income market, and we've seen a lot of liquidity recently. That has changed a little bit. Can you just run us through the dynamics there?
In the fixed income markets, yields have been dropping. Before now, the Treasury bills stop rate at the auction was at the upper band of 12%, precisely around 12.8% levels and above. But we've been seeing a continuous drop in rates to the lower bands of 12%. In the last auction, rates have been dropping continuously, and we still expect to see a continuous drop in rates due to the high demand. For now, we expect to see a continuous drop and a convergence in rates in the OMO, the primary market, and the secondary market, as against what was obtainable before now, when there was a 200 basis point difference in rates, when the OMO was at a higher rate. For the bonds market, yields have also continued to drop due to the high demand. The only major event expected in the bonds market is the proposed inclusion of Nigeria in the Barclays Emerging Market Index.
And what do you think that's going to do for demand? Clearly, demand has been fairly steady from foreign investors recently. Do you think it's going to go to another level when that inclusion happens?
Yes, it's going to boost investors' confidence, and we expect to see more people coming into the market to invest in the securities.
Okay, and give us an outlook for the Naira. Coming back to the currency, it's looking pretty stable, even though it's weakened a little bit. Your thoughts on where it's likely to be over the next few weeks?
For the Naira dollar.
Yes, the Naira dollar.
We expect to see a bit of stability in the Naira dollar. Today, the CBN sold $120 million at a stop rate of 155.74, and the interbank market traded at 157.3 levels. We expect to see a bit of stability because rates have been stable at the auction. Though in the last 3 auctions before today, the stop rate was actually 155.73, but today it devalued 1 kobo to 155.74. But relatively, rates have been stable in the market. And
another factor that, of course, comes to play when you're looking at the Naira is the activities of the oil majors and selling dollars to the market. We've seen oil prices very, very high recently, well over $110 per barrel. Does that, from your experience, does that have any impact on how much dollars they sell to the markets as well?
Yes, it has an impact on what is sold in the market, because if the prices go up, demand in the market is actually going to increase. And once demand increases, we expect to see the rates going up.